Okay, let's talk about the EC1 pattern controller and how it works. I'm going to turn this off. When you're first setting up to do a pattern, keep it off. Do not leave it on, okay? You're going to feed the card in when it's off. You're going to make sure this is plugged into the straight part of the curly cord when it's off. You're going to have it off when you plug the curly cord into the carriage. Everything off, okay? Feed your pattern sheet into the machine always when it's off. If you'll notice, it feeds in very smoothly while it's off, okay? Now, I'm using pattern number 39 on sheet 6. And I'm going to feed this in to right above the triangle, right below that first black mark. Once it's there, I'm going to stop. I'm going to make sure that it's set for the width of the pattern, okay, so from 0 to 32, because it's a 32 stitch pattern. And you do that with these, okay. Go to 32, and this is most generally on 0 unless you're using a pattern in the right column. Okay, and that's all there is to it for that. Everything's connected, everything is it's plugged in, so we're going to go ahead and turn it on. We'll have 3 lights come on. We're going to have first set of ducks, second set of ducks, and then over here we're going to have the down arrow light showing that it feeds down, okay? And this is a tuck stitch pattern, so we are going to set the first set of ducks to the other duck on the right, because that's just what you do when you're using tuck stitch patterns, okay? And you leave this one alone. This is your inspection button. When the light is on, it feeds up. When it's off, it will feed down. So if I'm going to turn it on, it's going to push the pattern up. Okay. Now I'm going to manually roll it back down to the start position. Okay. And once it's started, or once it's in the start position, then we're going to turn it off. And it pulls it down into the machine to read 10 rows below, okay? And basically that's it. You just make sure when you're going to knit that you have your cams slid to the correct positions. Let's say we're knitting all these needles, and so we're going to have it to the end of each one. If we're only going to pattern like there from here to here, then we'll slide them there, and then it's just going to knit these stitches plain in stockinette, okay? But I'm going to keep it where I had it. Can't tell if that's there. Well, that looks crooked. Okay, so right there. And then you're going to switch it to tuck stitch. You're going to make sure your tuck brushes are on, and you're going to milk your yarn in the back, and you're just going to bring your carriage across and start knitting. I've already knit several times, and that's not really part of why I'm doing this video. I have other videos where I'm actually knitting it, but this is just to go over how to do all the settings and make sure your lights are working correctly.